Okay, this is a better way to make a difference. And this video is for you if you care about making a difference, if you care about making your world a better place, if you care about leaving a legacy, carrying out the Great Commission, bringing good into your world, then this video is for you. But if you're the kind of person that's kind of all around what's in it for me and I don't care about anybody else, then this video is definitely not for you. It won't make any sense to you. And so just letting you know so you don't waste your time. Anyway, this is a better way to make a difference. And I'm just going to talk about a couple of things that aren't often discussed when we talk about making a difference, but they're really, really important. And I'm going to give you really the most important first step when it comes to making a difference. But there's something that most people don't, I think, get that needs to be brought into focus if we're really going to change our world for the good. And that is, what is the problem that we're trying to solve? Okay? You can try to frame it in many ways, but I think this is the most helpful way to frame it, the most helpful way to understand it, and that is humanity is deceived. In other words, people believe a lie, and people believe thousands upon thousands upon thousands of lies, but there's one single lie that is central to the deception that has overtaken our planet and the deception that's responsible for almost every evil, every wrong that's on this planet. And it was a deception that was brought into the Garden of Eden and has been with humanity ever since. And can you guess what it is? The deception, the lie is that God is not good. And so every time you do something to make your world a better place, every time you buy groceries for somebody or pray for somebody in need or repair a broken friendship or invite someone to experience Jesus or fix a broken system, you are battling against that lie that God is not good. And I just want to say that lie is it's tricky, it's sneaky, it shows up in all kinds of different ways, but if you drill down on almost every evil and every wrong that's in this planet, you will find at the very bottom the lie, God is not good. And the second thing that's really important to understand if we're going to make our world a better place is what Jesus said in Matthew 7, I think it is. He said, if you're going to help somebody else with a problem that they have, you got to fix your own problem first. The way Jesus said it is don't go around saying, let me get that speck of sawdust out of your eye when you have a plank in your own eye, when you have a board in your own eye. And it's, in other words, he's saying, don't be a hypocrite. Fix yourself before you go fixing your world. And obviously, fixing ourselves is a lifelong process, but the idea is that we make fixing ourselves our first priority and fixing other people comes second. And so when you put these two ideas together, a really powerful concept emerges, and that's what I want to share in this video. And the concept is we need to find that lie that's in our own lives that says God is not good, and we need to take that lie to Jesus so that he can give us the truth that sets us free. And then the plank will be out of our eyes so that we can see clearly to help someone else. And now this shows up in all kinds of crazy ways. And I'm going to give you one example from my life just to show you how this shows up and what you can do and how God will fix it. And here it is. I have lived my life by faith. I've been in that kind of uncomfortable spot much of my life between self-employment and ministry, and in a place where there's really no money. And so it's like every month I could pay my bills. It was another miracle. And anyway, I was in one of these situations where I was behind in my mortgage. I was like 60 days behind, and I was getting nasty phone calls from the bank. And I was terrified. I mean, I knew God could provide because he had provided in many ways, many times before. But I just had this horrible sinking feeling that he wouldn't provide, that I had done something wrong, that I had made my bed, now I had to lie in it. I had buttered my bread, now I had to eat it. That I had done something wrong, and now I had to face the consequences. I didn't know what I had done wrong. I didn't know how to fix it, but that was the feeling. And so I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't focus during the day. All I could think about is my wife, my 4 little children, and I would be out on the streets, no place to live, and I just was just a frantic mess. So I took all of this to Jesus, and as I started focusing on these terrible feelings that I had inside, this childhood memory came back to me. And I was, I don't know, maybe 8 years old, and my dad had been deployed by the military off to a remote place we couldn't go, and he was coming back, and it was a year that he had been deployed, so he was coming back after a year. Instead of being excited to see my dad, I was terrified. And the reason I was terrified is because while he was gone, I just wanted to pretend that I could build things like my dad could. And so I went out in the garage and I borrowed some of his hand tools and pounded together a few scraps of wood. And, I was kind of proud of my gaudy accomplishments. But the consequence of doing that is I'd gotten my dad's hand tools out, and my dad was very persnickety about how they were to put away. He had a system, and I did not understand it. And so my dad was coming home, and I was just desperately afraid because I didn't put his tools away properly, and I just knew that he was going to be mad at me. And so anyway, I'm just processing all of this, and then the Lord just showed up and talked to me. He says, and this is what he said. He said, Dwight, your dad did the best that he could with the parenting tools that are in his parenting toolbox. But I'm a different kind of father, and I have different tools in my parenting toolbox. And I want you to know that when you make a mistake, or if you make a mistake, that I don't leave you there to figure it out on your own, that I come along beside you and I show you how to fix it. And so anyway, the bottom line for me at that time was this, my anxiety went from way up here to way down here. And I just calmed way down. I was able to sleep at night. I was able to focus during the day. And for a couple of weeks, nothing happened. I mean, financially, nothing happened. I was still behind in my mortgage, behind in my bills, couldn't pay things. But I was changed. I was different. I was okay. And I just didn't have this anxiety, and I was able to focus, and the money came in. I forget. I got a client or some miracle happened. Anyway, the money came in. I got the mortgage up to date, got all my bills up to date, and everything was fine. But the reason that I'm telling you this story is this. What was the root lie that I believed? The root lie that I believed was that God was not good, that God was taking my calamity and using it against me and rubbing my nose in it and just being abusive and unkind and ungood, if that's a word, to me. And none of that was true. But I needed to hear that from God. I needed to know from God at a deep, deep level that He was good. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway is this. If you want to make a difference in your world, the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to God and say, Lord, please, where I have been deceived, where I have been led astray, where I have been led to believe in some way or another that you are not good, please bring that to the surface for me, and please deal with that so that I can be set free from that lie. I can have the truth that sets me free, and I will be better positioned to help others around me and to make my world a better place. Anyway, I hope these thoughts are helpful. I'm Dwight Clow. Much love from my home to yours. Have a fantastic week.